Hi friends, welcome to Faux Foodie Charl from Camden, Maine. I'm also sabbatical Charl. So I'm cooking in someone else's kitchen, which is ours, for the next couple of weeks. And I'm making dinner, just easy peasy. I have one really big sweet potato all chopped up. And I'm gonna put, here's the thing. I've got pork, and I'm gonna do that. And I've got sweet potato, but I don't have enough time for the sweet potato to cook all cooked together. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a little olive oil drizzled into some aluminum foil. And really what I'm doing is I'm doing a baked sweet potato, a little salt. So I tend to pack when I'm going to an Airbnb with all the essentials, all the things that I want. But I don't want to take my own salt and pepper shakers or grinders, but I also don't know that they're going to have them. So I went to the dollar store and got their little grinders, and that's okay, right? So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a baked sweet potato, but I'm doing it in this little tiny pocket, and I just have this little tiny boat. And because I've cut it up into cubes, basically I sliced it into rings about 1 inch thick, and then I have cut those into quarters, and then I have just salt and peppered and olive oiled them, and I'm gonna bake these while I bake the pork alongside. But I don't want, this is gonna make them cook faster, and it means I don't have to wait that long for dinner, but I also don't have to do a ton. Thank you, right? So in the oven that goes. And then in the beauty of cooking in someone else's kitchen, you don't know what you're gonna find. I didn't find any baking pans, but I did find 2 cake pans. So 2 cake pans it is. So I've got a pork tenderloin that I have sliced into bigger chunks. I've got a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in there. And this is like a Boy Scout trick, right? You put it in the bag, put what you want on it, and then you season it up. So I've got a lot of pepper, some salt. Now, what I did do is I did bring my Za'atar spice mix together because I love this stuff. It's really yummy, kind of a Greek flavor. It's just yummy. It's got hospice, sesame seeds, sumac, coriander seeds, salt, and that's all in there. So I'm going to give that about 2 tablespoons. Seeing how much I have left in the pan. 2 tablespoons worth into the bag. I also have 2 smallish onions cut into big chunks, and I have probably, I'm gonna say 10-ish of the little peppers sliced as well. And now that I have them in the bag, it's gonna get even easier than this. Now, I would think about doing this ahead of time, but we were out exploring and hiking today, so that wasn't gonna be it. But I do wanna have a good healthy dinner for us. When we're on vacation, we aren't very often will do one meal out, maybe, depending on what our budget is. But because we're here for a couple of weeks, that will not be true. Because we're not vacationing, I'm on sabbatical. So it's different. So we've got all of the herbs onto the pork, onto the peppers, onto the onions, a little olive oil, right? Salt and pepper. That's it. Now I'm just gonna dump half the bag into one baking dish. The other half of the bag into the other baking dish, and I can see that it's actually crowding the baking dish. So probably what I'm going to do here because I'm looking really to cook this whole meal in under 45 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread out the pieces of pork, get all of that kind of out and about. Here comes the bread pan, and go a couple of pieces of pork. And this, what's great about this is also gonna give us leftovers, right? And so that means we're cooking one meal, and this is gonna feed us on top of salads. A couple more pieces of pork. Salads, it'll feed us maybe dinner tomorrow night. I might do some couscous to go with it. But I'm doing one big tenderloin. You know me, I love to cook, and so it's not a chore for me to cook, but I do like to kind of cook something that's gonna feed us for a couple of days. The first day we got here, I actually had vegetarian chili that I had made back mid-March, and I froze it in a Ziploc bag. We drove up with it, and then I roasted a couple of potatoes, and we ate that on top of that, and that was great. So I like to do meals that are gonna feed us for a couple of days, because I do want to cook, and I want to make sure I know how much salt's going into stuff, and I want to know how much oil's going into stuff for us. But I do not want to keep cooking and keep cooking. Although I find it restful and very therapeutic. And I've got some more videos coming soon about cooking as Sabbath, but not tonight. Tonight I'm just getting dinner in the oven. You want to break up the onion to make sure that they aren't stuck together. So I've got 3 pans. Now you might say, so I could rinse, so I might wash this out, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use it for the guts of the onion. I'm going to use it for the guts of the peppers, anything that I cut off that, and that, so it won't smell at my garbage, because I don't want to smell at my garbage. And that's what's going on here. So this is going to go into the oven, and I'll show you when it comes out. Let's see. Okay, let's see what's going on. Here we go. So what I did is actually, the vegetables were not cooking. As everything else. So I took the pork out, and I've got it here. I'll put that in. And then I've got vegetables. I did not want the pork to get dry. So I took care of that by taking the pork out and letting it rest. What do you think? Now, let's not forget about the sweet potatoes. All yummy and soft. And I'm going to pour that and all their juices in with the pork. So now I have pork medallions, peppers, onions roasted, and sweet potatoes. Look at how good that looks. Okay, friends, simple, easy dinner. Bon appetit. Love from Maine.